Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, or hi, my name is Stacy if you're new here. So for today's video, we're reviewing Half Magic Beauty, which if you don't know is the new makeup line that was released by Donni Davy, who is the makeup artist on the show Euphoria. And if you're in the makeup community, you know that the Euphoria makeup has made a huge impact on makeup trends and styles recently. So when I heard that Donni Davy was coming out with her own makeup line, I was super excited. So if you want to see demos of everything I got and different look tutorials, including this look that I'm wearing right now, then just keep on watching. I tried to make the looks pretty wearable, and I'll also include some hand swatches just so you can see everything. So just stay tuned for that. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, because it really helps out my channel. And let's just get right into the video. Okay, so I want to start off with doing the most like neutral, wearable, everyday looks, and then kind of go into the more creative looking ones. I'm going to use this Chrome Addiction shadow in the shade No Shame. It's the rosy tone one, and you can see the color in the little logo there. Also, yeah, the component gets kind of dirty with fingerprints. It looks pretty darn pigmented. Okay, so it's kind of like a duochrome type shadow, and I'm just going to put this all over. I feel like it dries kind of quickly, so I'm just going to start using my finger to pat it out. And when you use your finger to blend it out, definitely blends out very sheerly. I'm going to try to use a little bit more and not blend it out so much. But I also wonder if these are meant to like not be blended out, you know what I mean? Because I feel like this would do very well just like as a wing like this. It's very pigmented, but I kind of do like to blend out my shimmers, especially around the edges. So I'm just going to try to keep the blending at the edges and see what happens. There also does seem to be a little bit of patching up there, which I think happens when you blend it. Oop! Okay, as you can see, hopefully you guys can see that when I blended it over itself, it removed itself. So, that's not the best. Wait, actually, like, this is low-key not working. Okay, I'm trying to see if we can cover up this patch, and maybe I just need to use a brush instead. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so I think the brush definitely helped. It did not like pick up on itself nearly as much as when I used my finger. That's kind of weird because usually things work better when you use your finger in terms of shimmers. But I feel like this is one of those formulas that's kind of meant to be worked with less. Like, as in, I feel like this performs better if you just wanted like a really opaque shadow like this, or drew this in a liner shape. But for me, because I tend to like to blend out my shimmers and make them look more natural, that's the way I was trying to do it, and it wasn't working. It was definitely like patching up. But as you can see now, it's much better, much more opaque. So it seems like the brush is the way to use this if you do want to tap it out, but I think ideally you should just leave it. And if you do shear it out, it becomes very sheer. So there's not really like an in-between. So far, not super impressed with that. Now I'm gonna go into this glitter pill, and this is in the shade Money Please. Normally I wouldn't have gone for the shade, but I'm just gonna draw like a little arch. I was gonna say the glitter pills are much more sheer. Hopefully you guys can see that. It doesn't have a strong base pigment, so that makes it a lot more versatile. And if you did want to use it all over your eye, it would be more like as a glitter topper, not as like a glitter eyeshadow, if that makes sense. So far, I really like this. It's pretty easy to use. Hopefully you guys can see as I tilt my head. It is warm toned, but I like that it's not too coppery like it looks in the bottle. Like, it doesn't really end up looking like this on the eye. And this one, I find it's not really patchy. You can see how the base color is sheer, but the glitters and everything is pretty evenly interspersed. I'm dipping back into it, and you can kind of build it on itself. And it doesn't pick up on itself like how the Chrome Addiction shadow was. So far, I'm liking this glitter pill formula more than the Chrome Addiction shadow. This is really useful for if you want to do any kind of liner action like how I did here. I'm gonna see if I can like do a little spotlight eye using this. Oh yeah, I also want to show you what the tip looks like. It's a very small kind of liner type tip, but it's not as thin as a regular liner. It's a little bit like short and chubby. Okay, I'm gonna add some on the center and see what happens. So we're just gonna do like a little spotlight action. Ooh, it's actually layering very well. Well, we'll see when we blend it, but actually because it's kind of like a translucent base, I feel like you barely even have to blend it. Like, maybe we can blend the edges a little. Like, if you want to keep the most impact, you kind of don't want to blend too much. Yeah, and as I'm blending, like the part that I blended kind of picked up on the Chrome Addiction. So far not super impressed with this because it's kind of finicky, and basically it's like once you put it down and it dries, you're not gonna want to do anything else to it, or else it's gonna pick itself up and literally look like a little blank spot. Hopefully you guys can see that. Going on to this eye, we're gonna work with some other Chrome Addiction shadows. So first, I want to use this matte one called Wild Caught. So So it's this coral shade. Also, sorry you guys can see my fingerprints. I know it looks really ugly, but why do brands choose to use like reflective packaging? Anyways, so this is the coral shade. It's the only like normal looking shade out of the matte Chrome Addictions. I want to kind of use it on the outer corner. So I'm going to see how this works as like an outer corner shadow. I'm going to kind of blend it into the transition. First of all, it's super pigmented. Like that's like a neon coral. And I'm using a fluffy brush to blend it. Ooh. It actually blends very well. Like you can see how kind of soft that's looking and very smooth, like not patchy at all. Like, oh, that actually looks really good. And you saw how that took like 2 seconds. So far, I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm gonna add a teeny bit to the lower lash line just to even that out. I'm using a smaller fluffy brush to kind of blend that out. But yeah, so far, I'm actually really impressed with this matte eyeshadow way more than the shimmer one. Not finicky at all. Also, I like the shade that it blended out to, like, because it looked very neon at first. And I feel like you could kind of leave it, like if you don't blend it out, it would still look very neon, so you could get that look. But then also you can get this kind of more subdued pinky eyeshadow look, which is more my vibe. So now for the shimmer, we're gonna go into the Chrome Addiction called ASMR, and it's the shimmery champagne shade. So I'm gonna see if I can somehow do this side without it patching, but I'm a little scared. Like you can see how it's super opaque, which is great, but if you don't want that like unnatural opaque look. Also on the website, this is described as a champagne, but it clearly has green shimmers in it. Like it's a very green champagne, if that makes sense. I'm gonna see if I can blend out the edge. It's not blending the best. I may have waited a little long to blend it because I was like looking for my brush. Now I was able to kind of blend that edge out, but so far this side turned out a lot better than this side, or like I didn't really have as many mishaps. So I do think that you just have to be careful with this. It's not like a foolproof eyeshadow. However, it is super reflective. I mean, both my eyes are just glittering. Now I'm gonna go off camera just to do my mascara, and I'll be right back to do the rest of the face. Okay, so now I'm back with the eyes all done. You guys can see. So she didn't come out with any blushes. So I'm actually gonna try using this Chrome Addiction shadow in Wild Caught as a blush because it's this coral shade. Which is also part of why I bought it, because I thought it would be like the most versatile. So let's just see. I don't know if that's too much. I actually think this as a blush is kind of giving. Like look at that. Okay, I think you can use a little more. Oh, it definitely is such a cute blush shade. Look how cute. It's just like a very pigmented blush. Okay, I added too much on this side, so just be careful because she's quite pigmented. So just use like a little dot, which is why I did at first, and it was fine. But then I got a little bit too excited. I'm just gonna tap over it with my foundation brush. So that's actually super cute cream blush. Love that for me. Now we're gonna go into the lip products. She came out with this nude brown set, which looks like this. But then there's also this set that has like this purple lipstick with blue lip liner, which was not exactly my vibe. So I just went for the nude one. Let me remove my lip treatment and I'll be right back. Okay, so now my lips are back and bare, and I'm gonna use this lip liner. So this is called Half Magic Sculptitude, and it's a 2-in-1 liner. So there's a lighter nude shade at the top and then a deeper brown shade at the bottom. I'm gonna try using this brown shade a little bit. I'm just gonna use it at the top and the bottom. So it's super creamy, like you barely have to press and it just glides on. Then I'm gonna use this lighter nude shade just to line the rest of the lips. And that will help us get like this more contoured effect. Kind of blend that into each other. I'm gonna use my finger to blend that. It does seem to kind of have like a setting quality to it. Like it doesn't feel like so creamy that it's just gonna go everywhere, you know what I mean? I really like the shade of this. I think I like the shades mixed together the best, or the lighter one. The darker one I have to kind of use sparingly. Now we're gonna go into this matte lip mousse. So it's called Mouth Cloud and it's in the shade Magic Brownie. So Donni Davy calls this like a universal lip shade. It's like a brown for everybody. So I'm very intrigued. First off, it's very smooth. It's one of those like silicone based formulas. Like this would be the type of matte formula that I would go for because it's matte, but it has that like light souffle, like moussey texture where it just kind of like glides over your lips and literally feels like a cloud. It's called mouth cloud, so that makes sense. Super comfortable. It actually feels kind of hydrating. It feels very similar to the MAC Powder Kiss liquid lipstick line, if you're familiar with that. It's actually thinner than the MAC Powder Kiss liquid version, so I guess it kind of feels similar to the bullet lipstick, but this is a liquid version of that, if that makes sense. So I'm very pleased with the formula. And if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest brown lipstick girl. Like that's not the type of lip that I would gravitate towards. I can see what she means by universal because I feel like this is actually pretty flattering brown on me. I find that it's a little bit hard sometimes to find browns that I like because I'm quite fair, as you can see. And then the brown sometimes doesn't have enough like warmth in it to kind of bring life to my face. And also my natural lip color is very pale. In order to not look like a corpse, I need a lip color that has either warmth or saturation in it. I can't do really pale or gray lips because that will just suck all of the life out of my complexion. And honestly, it does have some grayness to it, but it also has this like red undertone that's kind of giving it like a bricky feel. It's definitely brown, but also I feel like it's cooler in real life than in the camera. At least in my viewfinder, it looks pretty warm, but in real life, it does have like this grayish tinge to it. So just letting you guys know. But it looks kind of cool, and actually I think if I were going for a brown lip, I would like this. And that's part of why I picked this up, because I don't own many brown lipsticks because, as I said before, I have like struggles with finding the right brown shade. So I actually do think that she did something with this shade. So I just built up another layer. Oh, because the other thing I wanted to mention is that it's not completely opaque. Your natural lip color will definitely shine through, which I think is part of why she said it's universal too, because it will kind of blend with your natural coloring. That does make it a little bit more wearable in that sense. But yeah, since I naturally like have pretty colorless lips, nothing's really coming through here. So this is kind of the general like natural color if you don't really have that much color to your lips. You guys can let me know what you think of this shade on me. It's definitely not my usual color scheme. Okay, now I'm gonna go off camera and remove my eye makeup because I'm gonna go into the more colorful eyeshadow shades and we'll try to do some looks with those. So I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back and I redid my base because it came off with makeup remover. I just put some peachy blush on to go with this look. I want to go for a green look, so I'm going to use these two more greeny shades, I think. I want to show how you can get like a really simple, colorful look. So I want to do a winged green liner, and they have a matte chrome addiction shade that's like a neon green, which I didn't buy because I don't really like use that color that much. So I'm just going to dip into my ColourPop Fade to Hue palette and dip into the greens up here, use it as a base for my colored liner. So I do think the Chrome Addiction matte formula is really nice, so if you like the neon green shade, I think you should definitely consider buying it. But since for me, I don't use neon green that much, there's kind of no point for me to buy that, especially when I already have this palette. I'm gonna mix Designer and Dyed Up, so the two matte greens up here. So I'm just stamping it. If you want to make it super bright and neon, you can use a white eyeshadow primer or base first. Because the glitter pill liners are sheer in base color, I want to put down the matte green color so that it will end up actually looking green. And I'm just going to do the same on the other eye. And going from there, I'm going to use this glitter pill eyeshadow. And this is in the shade Goblin. So Donni Davy made these so that they're supposed to be like layerable. Ooh. That's pretty. I actually really like that. You know how she made like a matte and then that Chrome Addiction shimmer and then these glitter pill liners? So basically they're all made to be like layered on top of each other. So if you really want an intense color payoff, you would want to get the matte shades to like lay as a base, and then you can use these glitter shadows and put them on top. As you can see, the green eyeliner base is making the glitter pop. If I didn't use the green matte eyeshadow, it wouldn't be as opaque, but it would still look kind of green. But I feel like it might not give me like the clear green effect that you might want. But yeah, this glitter liner is super easy to work with, and it layered on top of the matte really beautifully. It didn't pick up the eyeshadow. So yeah, I'm really liking these glitter liners so far. Now I'm just gonna do the same on this eye. Okay, so this I think is the easiest way to wear like crazy colors, because you can see how it's kind of still understated, especially if you have more hooded eyes, because it is going to kind of like cover it a little bit. Yeah, but because it's like so simple, so clean, I feel like it doesn't look like it's too much, even though it's like a strange color. Okay, also I want to see if I can try adding some of this Chrome Addiction and ASMR. So I'm just going to add that as like a spotlight. I scraped off the brush before I put it on, just so I wouldn't add too much and then have like weird patching. Okay, I guess I'm just kind of blending it all over now, but like kind of upwards. So this time I used my finger and it didn't pick up or anything, But I wonder if it's just because I use like really thin layers. So maybe that's what you have to do if you want to be able to use your finger. And also like work quickly, because you don't want the layer to dry before you start blending it, because that's also kind of what causes it to patch up and not be able to be blended out. Yeah, because I think I can still layer it on top of itself when it's still wet. As for this, I'm just doing it in a really light wash. I put it very subtly because I don't want it to be like an actual like chrome shimmer. I just want it to be a very light wash of shimmer and have the green liner be the main star. And I think that actually turned out very well. It's very like see-through and it gives my lids this wet look. It's really cool. Okay, and then I got these cool little rhinestones from Half Magic. Oh, they're called Face Gems. And these are the iridescent sparkle version. So she has other ones, like she has these colorful neon ones, which I didn't get because that's not really my vibe. That's more colorful and bold than what I'm used to. Whereas these iridescent sparkly ones are very fairy-like and very girly, which is totally me. And then she also has these like spiky ones that literally look like points. So those are cool, but that's like if you're more bold and edgy, which is not my style. So these are nice because they are just like little stickers, so you can just stick them right on. You don't have to add any lash glue like you usually do to rhinestones if you want to add them. As you can see, the tiniest rhinestones are actually very, very tiny, which is kind of hard to find. Like it's hard to find rhinestones in this teeny tiny size because most of them are around this size or this size. Yeah, and Donni Davy mentioned that she actually made these because she couldn't find rhinestones that were this small. So I actually think I'm gonna try to use those. I'm trying to do the 4 dot technique. I don't know if you guys have seen that around TikTok where like people are doing those 4 white dots, but instead of white dots, I'm gonna use these iridescent rhinestone dots and see if I can get the same effect. I love how tiny these are, like they're so delicate. Look how cute that is. Hold on. Like it's subtle, even though it's not subtle, but I really like that. And I think I like this better than the white eyeliner effect just because it's like sparkly. It's even more iridescent and fairy-like. Okay, I'm just gonna go off camera, do the other side, and also do my lashes, and then I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Okay, now I'm back with the lashes all done. So you can see the finished eye look. I think it's super cute. You can also see the little rhinestones. I feel like it just brings the attention to the eyes. So I want to actually see if I can use this Chrome Addiction matte shadow in Wild Caught on my lips, like as like a little lip stain. So I just have some of the Tower 28 Pistachio Gloss on right now, which is actually what I want because I think that will help blend this lip color out. But yeah, so I'm just gonna, it's a little bit pastel though. Like there's definitely a white base to this, which usually on the lips is not so flattering. Okay, so it definitely has like a dry down. And it's making my lip gloss less glossy. I feel like the formula is not the best because it's kind of like a little bit tacky. I mean, it wasn't meant to be used for the lips. I was just using that for the color. The color is kind of cute. It's kind of like a baby pink. What do we think of this look? I love how even though I'm wearing like a kind of crazy color, it still looks pretty wearable and I would actually feel comfortable wearing this outside. And even with the little rhinestone details, it's very delicate. And imagine just like matching this to your outfit. So like if I had a green shirt on, that would look so cute. And you can change the color of this liner to match your outfit. So yeah, let me know if you guys try this out for summer. I think it'll be really fun. And let's just get right into the last look. So I'm gonna go remove my face and I'll be right back to do the final look. Okay, so now I'm back and I took a shower. That's why my hair is wet. But I'm gonna use these 2 cooler toned ones. So let's start off with the Chrome Addiction in Spirit Guide. So it's like this periwinkle shade. And I'm gonna try to use this how I believe she intended it to be used, which is basically you just draw it on in a wing and then you don't do anything else. Because that's kind of how I saw it in the promo photos. And it just seems kind of hard to blend out, but when you use it by itself, it's pretty good. Okay, I think this would look good for like an editorial thing, but since I do have to go out after this, I'm gonna remove this and just do like a wing liner like how I did in the last one. Okay, now I'm back. I just removed the top half of the wing, so it's just like a tinier wing now. And I feel like that's much more wearable in my opinion. I'm gonna take this glitter pill in Microcosm. And I feel like this is the most versatile one just because it's basically just all these multicolored like rainbow pearls. And I guess it's mostly silver, but since the base color is very sheer, I don't think it like will actually look silver. It looks more like iridescent. Okay, I'm thinking that I'm gonna use this as like an Eggo style liner and we'll see how this looks. You can also like use it to like line this part, but I already did that in an earlier look. So if you want it to have a more intense base color, you would have to put a color underneath it. And then lastly, I want to do like rhinestones going out like that. I'm going to use the tiny rhinestones again. So So I'm reusing the ones that I just used. Hopefully, like, because I didn't use them for too long, they will stay on long enough. Look how cute that is. Okay, so that's gonna be pretty much it for this eye look. So I'm just gonna do the exact same thing to this eye, but making it a small liner like this. And then I'll be back to show you the finished makeup and my final thoughts on this Half Magic makeup line. Okay, so now I'm back with my eyes all done. So hopefully you guys can see. It's just like a really pretty periwinkle wing, but hopefully you guys can see that the shift is like this lavender pink color. So I used Pat McGrath Divine Rose blush on my cheeks to match it. Also, I really like the cool tone color because it kind of matches my shirt that has like blue and pink and lavender in it. So for lips, I'm gonna line it using the lighter nude side. Okay, actually it's quite warm. So yeah, actually that's not the color that we want. I'm gonna go in with this cool tone shade instead called Endless Cacao by Makeup Forever. This was actually also used on Euphoria for those really contoured lip looks. I'm pretty sure the Magic Brownie and the Half Magic lip liner shades were also used in Euphoria. I think anytime they had like a brown lip. And as a base color, I'm gonna use Merit Beauty Baby. It's like this pinky taupe nude base color. This is good for cool tone looks. That actually matches really well by itself, and it like blends out along the edges super nicely, so it's like super diffused. And then I'm gonna go in with this Amuse Dew tint. One of my favorite tints right now in the shade Dew Boksunga. This is kind of like a mauve-y nude shade. It's actually very similar to the baby color, but I just need it to be like glossy, you know? So this is the finished look. Ignore my hair because I didn't do it. What do we think? I think it's super cute. Again, it's a little bit out there with the colors, but because it's a very subdued classic shape and it's very like simple, I feel like it's super wearable, and I'm going to be wearing this outside. I especially love the rhinestones. I feel like the rhinestones are just, or the face gems as she calls it, they're the perfect sizes. I use the tiniest sizes because I like that more delicate look, but I feel like I will use the bigger sizes as well. I feel like I'll use the bigger size as like a singular one. I like that this brand kind of forces me a little bit out of my comfort zone with the different colors and textures. I can still use them in a way where I'd be comfortable wearing it outside and I don't feel like a clown or like I'm too TV character-like. So to sum it up, let me talk about the different formulas. For the Chrome Addiction mattes, I only got the Wild Caught shade. I have to say I'm honestly really impressed with the mattes. They blend it out super easily, super pigmented, very opaque, but it diffuses super nicely. Doesn't dry down too fast, so you have enough working time. Basically, zero complaints. If you like really bright matte colors, definitely check this line out. Next, we have the Chrome Addiction shimmers. So I thought this would be my favorite, but honestly, I'm not that impressed because just from my few experiences using these, I feel like she definitely intended for it to be like a full-on pigmented moment, like this liner that I'm doing. You guys can see how the first time I used it, when I tried to build it on top of itself, it picked itself up. That may be because I waited a little bit too long, but that indicates that the dry down is kind of quick, and also it's kind of unworkable once it dries down. So you do have to be careful with that. Definitely work fast. But when I did it in really, really thin layers and it was kind of building it up, I didn't have that problem with the patching. I just find these a little bit finicky to work with. They're not as nice as some other liquid glitter shadows that I've used. So I'm not sure if I would recommend these over other ones, but I will say that the shades are quite unique. I think my favorite one is this Spirit Guide one, which is the one I have on my eyes because it's like this periwinkle that shifts very clearly a lilac pink fuchsia shade. So this is a really unique shade. I don't have anything in my collection like this. But yeah, so I would recommend if you like that kind of cut crease or glitter liner look like how I'm doing here. But if you like to use it as a glitter topper, it's not the most user-friendly one. I did get it to work like in my green look, but I had to be careful and I was scared I was gonna mess it up like I did in the first time I used it. So moving on, we have the glitter pills. So these I also really like. You can see I used it in my egg yolk today, and I think it's really pretty as an egg yolk liner. So that's one use for these. I feel like they're really good glitter liners, and I like how you can use them also as a glitter topper. You can top them on top of any matte shade you want to put down, like I did in my green look. I like how versatile these are. If you're looking for a glitter liner, these are really good. Face gems, love them. I love how they just give this little sparkle to your eyes. Like it literally will draw everyone's attention to your eyes and Just looks so cute, delicate, glistening. Especially if you're gonna be going to any parties, festivals, or any like low light settings, I think it'll look so pretty. Lastly, we have the lip products. So I just wanna say that actually both of the formulas are super, super nice. The lip liner is very, very glidey, but it does have a set down, so I can tell that it's gonna be like long lasting. I like that there's two colors, so you can actually like mix and match. There's a lighter nude and a darker nude. So this is super versatile actually. The only thing is it's quite warm tone, so I wouldn't use this with any cool tone lips. Like I couldn't use it with this one because it looked kind of orange compared to the rest of my makeup. And then we have the mouth cloud. So the formula is super nice. It performs exactly like the name suggests. It feels like a cloud on your lips. It's very like K-Beauty Lip Mousse, Lip Souffle inspired, I feel like. Reminds me a lot of the Rare Beauty Lip Souffles or the MAC Powder Kiss, like that type of liquid lip formula. Also, I just want to point out that it does go on like kind of sheer. You can build up the color, but it will never be like a fully opaque lip color. But I actually prefer that. I feel like it blends out better and kind of gives you that diffuse lip look really easily. So that's about all my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought of all my looks. I'll insert a clip of some hand swatches of everything just so you can see it all together. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and comment and subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this because it really helps on my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!